everyone. Welcome on this day of the full moon. Today we begin the 3-month Summer Kyolche and also at Musangsa 1,000-day Kido. Maybe 100 different sunbangs around Korea will be doing this Haengja, this summer retreat. And additionally, we're doing 1,000-day Kido here. Zen Master Sahn got enlightened doing Kido. You come here and practice Kido with Zen Master Sahn watching you, maybe you'll get enlightenment too. Why, we love Buddha, love Buddha's teaching. Why we remember this guy who died 2,500 years ago? What is it about what we call enlightenment that carries some value, that has the value? In this life, there are many things that we want and strive for. We try to have a healthy body, take care of our family, learn a lot as we grow, try to make good relationships as an adult, do work that's worthwhile, many, many different things that we work hard for all our life. But how many people understand what is life, what is death? Before we were born, where did we come from? When we die, where do we go? Also, what are we? What is a human being? What am I? How many of us really understand that deeply without thinking? Buddha realized that, and his wisdom still shines to us today. Sunim realized that and was able to spend his whole life traveling anywhere in the world, connecting with anyone, and helped people point back to their true nature. In the Temple Rules, it says, if you cannot open your mind, then in this life you cannot digest even one drop of water. Kwan Sunim spoke about that last night to the people who will sit Kyolche. As he said, if you think about that, it's kind of scary. You can't even digest one drop of water. What does that mean? It means when we die, we have no control over what happens afterwards. So a great master said, if you want to follow Buddha's actions, keep the precepts. If you want to understand Buddha's teaching, then study the sutras. If you want to attain Buddha's mind, which is our true nature, practice. If we do that, then we don't need to worry about where we go. We understand who we are, and we can live a life that's peaceful inside, maybe busy outside, but is clear and beneficial. One time I was in Los Angeles years ago, and I went to a food market, big food market. And I saw an old man there, and he was dressed very nicely. He had a tie and jacket, nice shoes, and a nice hat. And I thought, oh, this guy's interesting. He got dressed up very nicely just to go out and buy food. And I was wearing my monk clothes, of course. And as I walked past him, he looked at me. And he said, those are nice clothes. Yeah, those are nice clothes. Where'd you get those clothes? So I said, Korea. Then he said, Korea. Can I get clothes like that? So I said, yeah, if you cut your hair, I'll give you clothes like that. He said, why I gotta cut my hair? I said, I'm a Buddhist monk. These are Buddhist monk clothes. Then he said, I knew you were a spiritual guy. I could feel it. So we had a nice little talk, and then we both went our way shopping. When I went into the line to pay for my food, this old man was in front of me. And in front of him was a woman who was paying for her food at that moment. But she couldn't find her credit card in her bag. So finally, she just dumped her whole bag on the counter and was looking through all the stuff for her credit card. And you could see she was worried that she was keep slowing down everybody. And so she was uncomfortable. Then this old man said to her, honey, don't worry, we're all going the same place. Ain't no need to hurry. He wasn't worried about where he's going. How are you doing? Actually, most of the time we don't think about that. But truthfully, we don't even know where we're going after this talk. You may have a plan, but it may not happen. Hopefully, some of the Sunims are in the kitchen cooking lunch right now, but I didn't check. I don't know if they're there. So we remember Buddha, we remember and appreciate Sungsan Kunsunim, because they paid attention to something that's fundamental and ultimately really important. What am I? What is life? What is death? So there's a famous Buddhist poem that I'll recite. It's called The Human Root. Coming empty-handed, going empty-handed, that is human. When you're born, where do you come from? When you die, where do you go? Life is like a floating cloud which appears. Death is like a floating cloud which disappears. The floating cloud itself originally doesn't exist. Life and death, coming and going, are also like that. But there's one thing that always remains clear. It is pure and clear, not depending on life and death, coming and going. Then what is the one pure and clear thing? This is very important. We focus on the outside things in our life all the time. But as hard as we try, we don't have a lot of control over what comes and goes. Everybody looks back at themselves at some point in our lives. I think usually kids, when they're 8 or 9 or 10, I remember doing this, think about what is this life? What is this? But we soon forget about that because we get busy with the everyday concerns of life. And we only think about it again, usually when something very difficult happens in life or we're dying. But it's not so difficult. It's not far away. It's what we are. What is that? The name is practicing. Looking back and what am I? If we try that sometimes, then the ups and downs of life won't cause us so much suffering. All these things that happen in life are just natural process. None of them reduce our true nature. None of them make it bigger. You're always complete. But not realizing it, we make so much effort and have happiness and suffering nonstop. Not only do we do that to ourselves, we make problems and suffering for others. Look at the world. Has it ever been smooth? When I grew up in America as a white male, my life was pretty smooth. Korean life right now is pretty good, but a lot of people aren't happy. Do you think it's worse now than it was 70 years ago in 1953? We make problems for ourselves and make ourselves miserable for no reason. We make it up ourselves. Want to stop doing that? I think so. That's why you come here. You know, if you want your car fixed, you go to a car place. If you want your body fixed, you go to a hospital. If you want to stop making suffering for yourself and others, you come to Musangsa. Buddha said life is difficult, but look at him. He always looks good. How do you do that?